All right, you guys are going to love this, man. This is just fun. This is incredible. As I keep telling you, there has been a tremendous vibe shift in this country. There was a time when the right was just so dominant online, and it felt like they owned the culture, and it all culminated with now Trump being back in the White House. But very quickly, all their goodwill is gone because they're destroying the country, right? And they're arrogant about it too. As they make the worst decisions ever, they double down and triple down and mock other people, right? And so now you're beginning to see criticism in corners that normally you wouldn't. So typically when you talk about pastors in this country, most of the pastors you hear about are right-wing assholes saying right-wing asshole shit. Well, this is glorious. So here we have a Tennessee pastor. Trey Suey is his name. Shout out to this guy, because this is a devastating and brutal and detailed takedown of the thugs and gangsters and criminals on the right. And I mean, this is, if every pastor talked like this, shit, I'd consider becoming religious, right? Here we go. Watch this.
If I wanted to grow a church in Wilson County, and my main objective was to get as many people in that building as possible, I would preach the gospel of Donald Trump. I would forsake the gospel of Christ. Well, I am a local Cumberland Presbyterian minister in the Wilson County area here. My thoughts today, I will say as a prerequisite, I do not represent my whole denomination, do not represent everybody in my church. That's the beautiful thing about church, is it's a shared space. But the party that we have today is not my mama's Republican Party. It has been taken over, it seems, by an extreme wing, the MAGA wing, which uses Jesus for the name of Jesus for the sake of power, but has no intent of actually playing out what Jesus taught when it came to taking care of the poor, when it came to including people of all stripes and backgrounds into community. I'm being told by conservative pastors that the tail is wagging the dog in these churches, that some of these pastors can't even preach on helping the poor anymore without being accused of being woke.
Oh, that is so devastating and brutal and exactly right. You try, as a Christian, to defend the poor, and they say you're being woke. Well, I mean, by your definition then, Jesus is the wokest person that has ever fucking lived. Bro, why not pick a different religion? If your whole life is going to be built around hatred and inverting the morality of every situation to make it seem like the wealthy and the war criminals, like these are the victims, pick a fucking different religion, bro.
And that's not the way of Jesus. These people that think helping the poor, helping the immigrant is woke, they need to find a new religion because Christianity ain't the one for them. When I see the teachings of Jesus being played out locally in public policy, what I'm seeing is that the Wilson County Democrats and the Tennessee Democratic Party are supporting things like no taxation on groceries to help the poor. Meanwhile, the Republicans shoot that down, right, and give tax cuts to corporations. Now, when Jesus said the first will be last and the last shall be first, I don't know how that corresponds to his teachings. When Jesus said, blessed are the poor, for they shall inherit the earth. But yet it seems that the Republican Party is communicating, blessed are the billionaires, for they...
Oh, this guy's killing him. Holy shit, I love this guy. This guy's killing him. God damn, bro. Yeah, this party, they're doing over $800 billion in Medicaid cuts. Medicaid is healthcare for low-income people and disabled people. I could not imagine a thing more directly at odds with the good things that Jesus says.
But yet it seems that the Republican Party is communicating, blessed are the billionaires, for they shall inherit the earth. This seems very contradictory, antichrist in the sense. I'm very clear, Christian nationalism is a false teaching. The idea that Christians should seek to conquer their neighbor by conquering the government. What I see with Jesus is he's always protecting people from being encroached upon by religious law that would seek to dehumanize them, cast them aside, and disenfranchise them. I don't see that happening today with the Democrats, but I do see that happening with Republican policy. I've seen within Wilson County what I would call these bastions for Republican politics go on full campaigns, have Sundays fully campaigning for the current administration leading up to the election. And I think the reason for that has to do probably with donors and tithing. I just saw that the Wilson County Republican Party is going to have Matt Gaetz here to speak in Lebanon. And their blurb that they had on their advertisement for this is, a man who stands up for conservative family values. Now tell me how a man who is just being investigated by Congress for potentially there being evidence that he had sex with a minor, he stands up for family values. It's not my family value. Family values I see coming from the Wilson County Democratic Party in terms of local politics, who do care about what it looks like to live day to day in the life of just the common person, you and I. What it looks like is there's no public policy that's actually supporting, within Tennessee, coming from the Republicans, just your common person like you and I, or those amongst us who are trying to get by, who live in the trailer park down the road. And not to mention the immigrants, who Jesus says welcome the stranger. The Bible tells us to welcome the stranger as one of your own. I think that some of their misconceptions is that whoever can judge their neighbor the loudest, their neighbor's lifestyle the loudest or whatever have you is the most faithful. What I see with Jesus is he's not someone that reduces space. He's not someone who's exclusive. He's someone who's inclusive.
Look, I love this. If you're one of those Christians who, like, you're a good Christian and you actually believe in the message of Jesus and the positive things, and you care about the poor and the sick and the downtrodden, and you want to create a more fair and just society, if you're one of those Christians, it is incumbent on you to do exactly what this guy's doing. Now, look, I'm not religious, so it's not really my place to get involved in that aspect of the conversation, but don't let the fundamentalist right-wing asshole Christians, the ones who believe in every horrible thing in the world, don't let them run roughshod and talk politics 24/7 and talk about their horrific ideology where they want to gut social services and cut the social safety net and screw over working people. And don't let them say that and then the good Christians sit there quietly. If you're going to be a Christian and you're a good Christian, use the positive parts of the message. Get involved in the debate, in the discussion. Explain to them that actually, no, based on the text, you're fucking wrong. You're wrong. This is the reality. And you do see this, to be fair. There are certain denominations that are always pretty good like this. Certainly the traditions of the black church in this country are phenomenal, right? They actually use their Christian beliefs to have them support a better society, a more just society, good laws, right? So I need to see more of this, bro. I need to see more of this. I need all the good pastors, the Jesus-believing pastors stand up. Don't let these right-wing asshole Christians who dominate political Christianity in this country, don't let them be the ones to run wild. And as he pointed out, this guy's a Christian, but he's also secular. He believes in separation of church and state. That's great. We don't need overtly religious teachings in school. Of course, you can and should implement laws that coincide with the good parts of Jesus' message, like make sure people have health care, make sure people have higher wages and things of that nature. But you can be secular while also advocating for those things. So let's get past the fundamentalist far-right Christians who give Christianity a horrific name, who are supporting a genocide in Gaza. No. The good Christians need to stand up and speak out. And this is the first time in a long time I've actually seen that. A Christian who is politically active and on the left and saying the right things. Because, by the way, there's no better recruitment tool for Christians than having this philosophy and this ideology and not the fucking hateful one that we see all the time in this country. So I love that video. That is the ruthless destruction of MAGA, and he's doing it from their Christian perspective. Like, oh, you really want to talk Christianity? Let's talk Christianity. You're wrong about every single point of it. I love that energy. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.